Everybody, it's Monica with your best female figure, and today's video is jam-packed full of information, exercises, recipes, tips, and other really cool stuff. So I'm gonna start by talking about the power of creation. So you have the power to create the body that you want and the life that you want and the relationships that you want in your life. This wasn't always something that I believed. I used to think that things happened to you and that you didn't have any control over them. After helping dozens of clients in my first couple of years change their bodies, improve their bodies, and their health, I realized one very important thing is that you have to believe that you have the power to create anything that you want for yourself. So one thing that I wanted to create for myself was the perfect work schedule. I had a terrible work schedule many years ago. 15 years ago when I started training, I used to work a 12-hour day and it was awful. I hardly ever got to see my son. He had to spend a lot of time in various daycares that were pretty terrible. And so one thing that was a priority for me was being able to drive him to school in the morning and to pick him up at a reasonable time after school. So that's where I'm coming from, you know, in this video, from dropping him off, and it's a very special part of my day that a lot of people probably take for granted. Tip for you today, whether you want a better body or a better life, is to believe. You have to believe for it to become reality. So another thing that I had to start believing for it to become reality is that I could have exactly the body that I wanted and that I could perform again on stage, which is something that I really wanted. So that happened back in May, then again in September, October. It's happening again next month and December. If you're having trouble believing, you're going to sabotage yourself. And if you're having trouble believing, I have written a lot of helpful tips about that in your Best Female Figure Plan Success Tips Guide. So check that out if you are struggling with that. So now that you have the right mindset for getting the body that you want, I'm going to share 3 very important tips for getting the butt size that you want. So for those of you who do not have a naturally big booty, number 1, you need to work with weight that feels a lot heavier to you. So your heavy is completely unique to your own body. Do not go by what other people think is heavy. You have to work at a weight that feels very challenging to you. So for me, that is a 20-pound sandbag. I could probably handle maybe 30-pound sandbag if I had one, but I think 20 pounds works for me. The second tip is to work very deep. So you have to make a lot of your lower body exercises very full range of movement. So notice how far down I'm lunging. My leg is practically straight and my knee is practically touching the floor. And I'm using the bag to achieve that, as well as the gliding disc. So having the bag on the floor and having to go down really deep to pick it up makes a huge difference. You can use any kind of weight, but for me the bag works really well. The third tip is to work at a slow tempo. I know you noticed that I was moving very slowly in the 2 previous exercises, and this one is even more important because if I don't move slowly, I will lose my balance and fall and probably whack both of my knees, which would be incredibly painful. Having a sandbag on my shoulder also makes me move a lot slower. So when you go heavy, deep, and slow, you're gonna see a huge difference in how much rounder and bigger your butt looks. Alright, so now that you have the mindset and some really useful tips for getting the body and the booty that you want, I am going to share 2 really great recipes that are quick and easy and that are also going to help you get amazing results from your workouts. So I went to the store yesterday and I bought all this organic produce like I always do, and a few juices that I don't usually buy, and then I made this delicious wrap. So it's just 1 can of wild-caught tuna, avocado, and radishes. And if you don't like those vegetables, you can use whatever vegetables that you like. You have to adapt things to your taste, so don't think that you're just forced to eat this stuff. Even if you don't like it, you can create your own meals. So I added lemon juice and sriracha because like I said before, I love spicy food. And then I mashed it all up and I put half of that mixture into my collard green leaf and added some red peppers on top, and then I folded it into a wrap and that was my lunch yesterday. So yesterday I didn't have a smoothie. I had that instead, and then some extra veggies on the side. And that is nutrition packed meal that is quick and super easy. Finally, I wanted to share my Halloween black magic potion shot with you. It's just black cherry juice with chia seeds soaked and some spirulina powder added to turn it black, and then orange mango juice layered on top. And it's a really nice alternative to a smoothie. I hope you've enjoyed today's info-packed video and that it has been helpful. I will be back tomorrow with more exercises and tips to help you get your best female figure. Thank you so much for watching.